Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. For those of you returning, welcome back. And for those of you that are new, hello, my name is Erica. I'm a homeschooling, homemaking mama of five. My house is just absolutely in shambles. I know that's a bit dramatic, but it's incredibly messy. We had a really busy weekend as usual. I don't know why I'm going to say it like it's a surprise, but every weekend's been busy recently. So I am finally getting to cleaning up. This was a Tuesday and I had to be at work at 3, so I tried to get, about 2 hours of cleaning done. I didn't get a chance to Monday because as soon as I woke up Monday, I had to take one of my children about an hour and a half down the road to a dentist appointment, and then we met up with my oldest son for breakfast, and it was really nice. But I had to hurry up and get back because I had to be at work, so I literally had no time to do much of anything. So I'm realizing I need to find something or a better way to store my pillows when they're not on my bed, because that seems to take up the most space in here. And it's kind of, that I don't know what that effect is when you have something, and it's, I guess, snowball effect. Maybe that's not the word. Anyway, you have one thing on the floor and it makes it messy, and then the other stuff just kind of naturally clutters around it. So I guess it doesn't naturally clutter around it. I'm the issue here. I just put stuff around it, but I need to find a better home for it. I don't want to bring anything else into this room though, because I've done so well to take stuff out. And, shortening the number of pillows I have on my bed is just not going to happen. I normally love to clean in my bare feet, but recently, I think it was about a week ago, I stepped on the broken wheel of a Matchbox car and it went right through my foot. And it's stuck in there, y'all. It was pretty bad. My foot's fine now. I didn't get tetanus or anything, but now I'm worried I'm going to step on stuff. So I got these slippers off Amazon and they are fantastic. I don't normally keep slippers on because they usually fall off my feet. And I walk really funny. I don't know how I do it, but if I have socks on, I somehow always end up twisting just one sock all the way around. Or, I don't know, probably my husband's favorite thing I do with my socks is I end up with just one on. I don't know how it happens, and it's not just for a few minutes. I'll go the entire day with just one sock on and never bother to change it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I didn't have a clean mop head, and I didn't feel I don't know what, I just didn't feel like doing a big mop, so I just cleaned it with the floor with my hands and just some Mrs. Meyer's multi-purpose spray. So this area over here was particularly dirty and it really needed, cleaned up. And I kind of like doing it by hand anyway. Joe has been obsessed with mopping lately, and he actually mopped half of my bedroom the other day. So this part didn't even really need it. And, obviously I couldn't get to it right now anyway because there's all this stuff on the floor. I'd like to tell you guys that's dirty clothes, but nope, it's clean clothes. I put it on the chair and somehow it made its way onto the floor. I don't know. I was just busy, and I don't do well when I'm busy, y'all, about putting stuff back in place. When I cook, I'm terrible. I make a huge mess. I think that's probably half the reason I don't like to cook anymore. I do it at work too. I feel bad. I make a huge mess, and I usually go behind myself and clean up, but I'm trying to do better with that, especially there, just because obviously I'm not the only one, cleaning up and stuff in the kitchen. So one thing that hasn't changed about me since I started my YouTube channel is I still underestimate how much time I have. So today I had planned on getting my whole house cleaned and, having this big epic cleaning video for y'all, and I just barely get 2.5 rooms clean, which was fine. I did a really, thorough job of each of them, but I did not get as much as I thought. But that's okay. That'll, be content for Saturday's video. I have to say, even though this chair is cluttered, it's not been near as bad as, it had been for, I'm not sure what the time frame is. I am doing better about picking stuff up. Maybe not as I go, but I'm doing it more frequently. So there was a bunch of paint that had splattered over here a while back, and I had just never got to it. And that's why if it seems like I'm ultra focused on one area, it's because I was. I didn't do much more of the floor than this area over here with Mrs. Myers and the microfiber rag. So this is a little weird, but as you can see on my TV, I like to listen to this music called chill hop. This is a particular channel, but I guess it's actually a style of music. It's like, it's not acid jazz or something, but some people call it lo-fi and that type of stuff. It's almost like elevator music type stuff. Anyway, I love it. And even though it's like really relaxing and almost stuff that you wouldn't expect yourself to like clean to, I love to clean to it. Like it just kind of, I think it balances me out because when I start to clean, sometimes I get really, well, a lot of times I get really frustrated. So music's kind of like peaceful or calming, unlike the stuff in the background that my husband's blaring over his phone as I'm doing this voiceover. I'm just kidding. But what kind of music do y'all like to listen to? Like sometimes I do watch YouTube videos. Usually I will turn those on if I'm in my kitchen and like I'm kind of, stuck doing dishes. I like to watch the videos. I do like to listen to certain people, but most of the time when I'm watching them, like I just like to sit and watch the videos. Like it's not something I do for motivation, which is, that's the whole purpose of them. But I don't know, it's just neat to sit there. Like usually before I start cleaning, it'll get me, in the mood to clean, if that makes any sense. Like I watch the actual videos, like sitting down, and I'm like, ooh, okay, now it's my turn to go clean. So anyway, what do y'all do when you clean? Do you watch videos? Do you listen to music? Do you not have anything? I know a lot of people are into podcasts and stuff now. I've been listening to some at work. It's like these real life ghost stories. My whole family enjoys them. And they're literally just this Irish lady that reads people's ghost stories that, have sent in. So if y'all have been here for a while, this is really nothing. See, my kids have done really well to get the dishes up, so the dishes aren't too bad. Most of the mess was just, excuse me, general clutter from the weekend and from, leftover homeschool stuff. That is left over from the door that I did not get to finish. I'm planning to do that for this weekend, excuse me, while my husband's off and I'm off for a couple days, so. So in my kitchen, I usually like to start with the counter first or with the side counter. I do my dishes last most of the time. Every now and then if I need to run the dishwasher, I'll start with the, dishes first. But I always find that there's a cup or a plate or a fork, or I could continue to go through the list of utensils in my house that I have forgot. And there is nothing more frustrating than cleaning out. Well, there's a lot of stuff that's more frustrating, but jump at the point. It's incredibly frustrating to finish cleaning your dishes and think you're done, and then it's like there's just one more dish. So anyway, that's the thought behind that. The multi-purpose spray that I'm using is the Mrs. Myers Honeysuckle. I rotate from different bottles. I don't like this honeysuckle anymore. I used to love it, but I guess my time with it has passed. It's just too floral for me. It reminds me almost of like a funeral home. So yeah, I think I'm about done with it. I did find some of the acorn Mrs. Myers at Lowe's the other day. I do like that. The seasonal scents are the ones that I really enjoy. But I don't have a Grove subscription anymore just because they were so sold out of stuff. And I like Mrs. Myers stuff, but a lot of times I don't feel like it cleans as well as my house needs. Like I think my house is a little too dirty for the natural cleaners, if that makes any sense. So if y'all didn't see that, I have a new thing now. I know we've talked about this before. I'm trying not to mention like ADHD as much. I've noticed I've been like on a kick with it, but I don't know. My therapist said at one point that this was something that, people do like this, but a lot of people get fixated on stuff. Anyway, my new thing right now is McDonald's sweet tea. Last month it was rice pudding. Now it is McDonald's sweet tea. So I was showing you guys my collection of McDonald's cups. So I'm actually sipping on a sweet tea right now that my husband got me. So I was very grateful for that. I can make McDonald's sweet tea at home, but I just don't want to. Like I like to have it in the cup. I don't know what the deal is with it. So eventually we'll have a new thing next month. I'm not really sure what it's going to be. It's always something really random. So that window wand thing I just showed y'all, funny thing about it, I was so excited to show my daughter, and she did not disappoint me with her level of excitement when she realized what it was. So she is turning out to be quite the little cleaning goddess herself, except I think she's much better at it than I am. But anyway, I got that for my outside, for my front window, because it's definitely been a little bit since I've cleaned it. And by a little bit, I mean ever. I know we haven't cleaned it since we've been here. I think maybe I tried to spray it with a hose once and just, it's never been properly cleaned. The inside has, just not the outside. So anyway, we got that. And it's just because, we couldn't reach it. But even still, it does need to be cleaned. And speaking of my daughter, the odd angle for this shot is because she was still in her pajamas and doing her schoolwork, and she requested that I did not put her on the video. So I'm just kind of tidying up this right here so Joe can sit down and do his schoolwork. It's just really worked out well that we do all of our homeschooling here. So I don't know why I was so adamant to not do it in here. Like, I wanted the dining room table just to be the dining room table, but honestly, I can't remember the last time we ate dinner together, so I should probably make it a point to do that. But anyway, we all sat here today and did our school after we finished that. I say me, I didn't do school, the kids did school. But, there's leftover paint, there's leftover homeschool stuff. Joe's been making creations with his Play-Doh. When I say ate together, I mean at this actual table. We've eaten several times together, but it's usually standing around on the island, or not on the island, we're standing around it, or in the kitchen or the living room. So it's just, we haven't sat down together, like called everybody in and pulled up a chair type thing. So my oven isn't really that bad, but I just went ahead and decided to clean it real well anyway. Just, I don't know, because I thought it'd be a good idea. I ran out of Dawn spray or power spray or whatnot, so I had some of this lying around, and I forgot that I don't need a lot. And you all are going to see it takes me forever to clean up all these suds. But you know what? I don't know if this is like a new trick or not. It's new to me because I haven't seen anybody else do it, but I'm sure I'm not. Anyway, so I squirted some of this. Is that how I say it? I squirted some of that dish soap into the old container and then just filled it with water. I think the only issue would probably be the ratio of concentrate to water, but it cleaned my dishes just fine. So we're just going to use that until I run out of it. I think I even have some old Dawn underneath the sink that I could probably use as well. But yeah, y'all see here that it's not cutting it. So I eventually had to get a different towel and clean it up. But like I said, my stove wasn't really bad because I haven't cooked too much on here. The kids normally cook in the air fryer. So that's, usually what gets done. And we boil a lot of water on here, and I don't know. That's Mrs. Meyer's soap, by the way. Dish soap is what I was talking about. And see, yeah, here's where I just squirted like a fourth of the bottle in there and then filled it up with water. I think I put a little bit too much soap, but it cleaned the dishes just fine. So most of them I loaded up. There were a few in here I washed by hand. I don't put my mixing bowl in the dishwasher, which I'm sure I could because it's stainless steel, but I do wash that by hand. I don't think I've mentioned this in the last couple videos. I don't like to use a sponge. I use my hands. That water is extremely hot, so I'm not saying I recommend this. I don't put bleach in my water though. But anyway, I have some pretty thick calluses on there, and I'm just kind of used to the hot stuff. But it's just something I've always preferred to do because I am terrible with soured sponges. And I never keep up with them. I don't like washcloths or rags or anything. They don't seem to hold soap very well. So when it comes to the actual disinfecting part, I just use my hands and rinse it out. Like I said, I will use like a scrub daddy or something, or a scour pad if there's like a tough area. But as for actual disinfecting and washing, no, I don't use a sponge. No pun intended, but it just dawned on me that this is the first time I've ran out of Dawn or soap and it not bothered me really bad. I normally hoard stuff like that. I have a whole cleaning cabinet full of cleaning supplies because I don't know what it is about cleaning supplies in particular that I cannot, it like really bothers me when I get low on those things. And when I mean low, I don't mean like I only have one. Like 2 or 3 or 4 a lot of times is like the minimum amount of things I like to keep. So I can't tell you where that started from. It's just something that's always stuck with me. So it was, a pretty big deal that I ran out of it, and I didn't even notice that I ran out of it. And then it didn't bother me, and I just made do with what I had laying around the house. Now, I don't know if I would have felt that way had I not had that whole cabinet full of stuff that I could have just made do, like if I'd had to run to the store and grabbed it. But if I did, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal anyway. So, I mean, there's really literally $3 Dollar Generals within 5 miles from my house. So here I am just drying the dishes off and putting them up. That's something I try to do too, because I don't like them just sitting there, but they do a little bit more than I care for them to. Something else I realized I just did the other day was I ran out of scented beads for the laundry. And when I went to the store, ironically the Dollar General again, to buy more, I only bought one. So that's, I didn't intentionally buy one. I just grabbed one because that's all I needed. And that's a big step for me, especially with cleaning supplies and laundry specifically. So I've always hoarded cleaning supplies, laundry stuff. I guess I really need to sit back and think about what experiences in life have brought me to that point that I am just terrified I'm not going to have clean stuff. So I've always had, I've never, I'm sure there have been times that, stuff was tight, but I've never had to go without as far as that, never had to deal with stinky clothes. Well, I mean, not that I couldn't have helped, there's always been, if I had stinky clothes, it's because I didn't wash my clothes. So y'all know I don't do anything special with my sink. I like to disinfect it and kind of just clean it out. But if I shine it, it's got to be because company's coming over. And this, y'all, is where the video cuts off because I ran out of space. But thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. It absolutely means the world to me. And I can't wait to talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.
Look here, I am done, I am done, I am done, I am done. Oh crap, that's all.